people eat too much meat, right? And if they were to cut down on their consumption on meat, then they would, it would actually really help the planet. But people are not willing to give up meat. Yeah, some people will be willing to, but other people, they may be willing to, but they have a weakness of will. They say, wow, this steak is just too juicy, I can't do it. I'm one of those. So possibly we can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meats. And there's actually analogs of this in life. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you'll become allergic to meat. That's something that we can do through human engineering.
What if I told you there was once a world with unlimited clean energy, no suffering, no scarcity, and a small people of self-proclaimed good people decided to take it all away from everyone else because they believed they knew better than you? Sounds like dystopian fiction, right? Well, it is, but it also might be something a little bit more worrying. So, I just watched the first 2 episodes of Witch Hat Atelier. I haven't read the manga, so I'm unable to give spoilers beyond those 2 episodes. And on the surface, it looks like a soft, whimsical fantasy story with some dark undertones like a dead mom or two. I get it. Okay. A little girl works in a fabric shop. She wants to be a witch because she likes pretty sparkly things. She got a magic picture book from a mysterious witch. And when a passing wizard had to use his magic to help somebody else, she realized all you need for magic is ink and magic circles. 2 things that she has in that magic book of hers. She tries drawing the circles in the book and makes magic. But one of the circles was dark, forbidden magic that turned her home and her mother into crystal. Yeah, that escalated fast, right? So, the wizard gives her a choice. Either lose her memories and, I guess, come back to a crystal house, a crystal mom, a ruined life, no possessions, live in poverty for the rest of your days, not knowing what made you this way, or be taken in by this kind and handsome passing wizard who will teach her all she wants to know about magic in return for her showing him how the magic book looks. We all know what she's going to choose, but that's not the interesting part. In episode 2, the handsome wizard gives us a lore drop. Once upon a time, everybody could use magic, and the world was basically a utopia. Clean, limitless energy, instant tools and infrastructure, no scarcity, no need for suffering because magic could heal illnesses and injuries. But of course, people use that magic for war and evil things as well. So, what did the group of basically powerful witch Illuminati decide? Not to regulate it or educate people in ethical uses of magic. Instead, they just erased everybody's memory of how magic works and made themselves the only one who could use it. They created laws, no magic that affects the human body, of course, other than deleting memories of people who find out the truth, yeah? Because you can't find out the truth. No healing magic, no changing age, no restoring, body parts and stuff like that. And then they added a lie. Only special people can use magic. And I'm sitting there watching this like, wait. You're telling me there was a world where people didn't have to suffer and you didn't have to die from preventable things? You didn't have to struggle for resources? You didn't have to work? And the small group of self-appointed Good Samaritans decided that's too dangerous? Who asked them? Who made them the referee of human potential? Who died and left them in charge with what people are allowed to do with their own existence? And the show presents this terrible gatekeeping of humanity's potential through lies and emotional manipulation and power, like this is some kind of reasonable thing. No, I'm sorry, that's insane. They're taking a perfectly good world and deliberately making it worse. Then controlling everybody to think that that's how it's supposed to be, that that's normal. Because this idea of elites deciding what's best for humanity, limiting access to power, rewriting what's safe, what's ethical, isn't just fantasy. Whether it's technology, vaccines, biology, energy, the right to carry weapons, the right to eat unhealthy sugary things, or the right for information, there are always voices in your government saying, people can't be trusted with this. This should be a controlled substance. We'll decide the limits. And the question that you should be asking yourself is always the same. Who are they to decide for us? I don't think Witch Hat Atelier fully realizes the kind of idea that it's playing with. But once it clicks, and it has for me, it doesn't really let go, because underneath the soft colors and pretty animation, it's a story about a world that was deliberately made smaller by a bunch of elites who thought they had the right to do it. And it worked. Nobody questions it, nobody remembers, nobody even knows what was taken from them. And I think that's the real tragedy of Witch Hat Atelier. Not, a little girl losing her mom because she didn't understand magic that she could have understood. It's that the idea that if you take something big enough from people and wait long enough, they'll stop realizing it was ever there at all. Because history doesn't really show us that taking choices away makes people safer. It just shows us who ends up holding the power.